everyone. My name is Illena Armstrong, and I am the president of Cloud Security Alliance, and I want to welcome you to our annual SECtember 2025. This is our second day of the event. Yesterday, you heard from a number of experts, such as Mark Rusinovich, who is the CTO, Deputy CISO over at Microsoft Azure, longtime CISO Tim Youngblood, who is also a member of our AI Safety Initiative CISO Advisory Council, who is helping us out and supporting us. Today, you're going to hear from the BISO from TD, Pam Simpson, Jim Alcove, who has held a myriad executive roles at Salesforce, Nest, Microsoft, and recently co-founded Alira. Who's going to be talking about an innovation maturity model. Also, Hira Dongle, who is yet another longtime cybersecurity executive and also a member of our AI Safety Initiative CISO Advisory Council, who is going to talk about physical security. Even our own Jim Rivas will be discussing more some of the cybersecurity challenges out there, many of which, of course, are all about AI. And so I wanted to kick the day off to talk about how we are partnering with our numerous service providers and other entities and enterprises around the globe to really help us all navigate this AI world in which we find ourselves. And I wanted to couch my discussion, my certainly brief discussion, in some of the cybersecurity challenges, AI threats that we're hearing about from our members, that we're seeing in some of the cyber threat reports that are being released over the course of the last several months. And showcase some of the concerns that are top of mind for organizational leaders for at least the next 3 to 6 months. And you never know, these could change. Some of these we've already been dealing with. Some will become even more pronounced in the next 3 to 6 months. And so I'm not going to go into a great deal of detail. You can certainly download these slides to read more about some of the mitigation strategies that we're hearing from our members that their teams are taking or considering sort of enhancing or implementing. Some include autonomous AI agent attacks, where obviously there's really no human intervention, and these attacks can self-propagate and adapt on their own. It allows threat actors to really orchestrate these attacks in a very rapid fashion and a very robust fashion. Additionally, AI-powered tools accelerating these exploits. Definitely have heard a lot about these happenings over the last couple of years, but tools like Hexstrike AI definitely have amplified the concerns here. That particular open source AI-powered framework was developed for offensive security and pen testing, and really had in mind ethical hackers, security researchers, red teams, enlisting this tool to undertake those repetitive tasks and uncover vulnerabilities faster. And it was doing this by using autonomous AI agents to operate more than 150 cybersecurity tools. As soon as that was released, obviously threat actors quickly weaponized the solution themselves, this framework themselves, to rapidly exploit zero-day threats. So these types of happenings are absolutely top of mind to many CXOs and other AI players. Deep fakes and synthetic media attacks, we've been seeing many of those. We've been seeing impersonation attacks, disinformation campaigns, videos and images that are definitely leading to fraud and exfiltration of data. And so organizations like the Coalition for Content Provenance and Authenticity are becoming much more important in helping to create standards whereby different communications and media can be watermarked, or we can enlist other provenance tools. LLM vulnerabilities and prompt injection attacks continue to be very concerning, just because of the data exfiltration that can happen and how rapidly these sorts of attacks can be implemented. We've talked a lot about agentic attacks and malware, agentic AI. We've had our own summit. But again, now there are worries about how these malware attacks can hit up critical infrastructure operations, ICS and OT environments. And so that's where, vendor neutral, independent frameworks such as the one that we just released, our AI controls matrix, will come into play. Certainly NIST is here as well. And we've actually seen our AI safety initiative working groups, connecting and working alongside our zero trust working groups to ensure that they're coming up with guidance on how zero trust can help here. And indeed, the one thing that I failed to mention in this last slide is that zero trust is absolutely important when it comes to all of these attacks. That strategy of verifying and making sure that any of the AI services that you're using are treated in a way that you have to validate them. You're enlisting guardrails and you're kind of following that zero trust posture. AI, augmented social engineering, and phishing attacks are becoming much, much more scalable, and they're just getting more convincing. So that's where this AI-based email and messaging filtering is important, multi-factor authentication, but also, making sure that your teams are being tested on phishing campaigns. AI-generated ransomware, autonomous ransomware, such as the proof of concept solution we saw in Prompt Locker, are becoming more worrisome. How this will play out in making sure that the organization and very critical data is protected from these ransomware attacks that are AI generated is extremely concerning to many of the folks with whom we've been speaking. Finally, the supply chain, the AI supply chain, it's under threat from poisoned data sets, backdoor models, any other malicious dependencies. And we're hearing from many of our contacts that this software bill of materials, which has been applied to other supply chain technologies, is just as important in applying to AI models and data sets, so that you're really tracking and listing the people, the processes, the tools, all the components, the source code, the third-party libraries, everything that is dependent in sort of developing and building, as well as distributing these AI models and data sets. So those are some of the things we've been hearing about. But more than that, we're also talking a lot about the regulatory and ethical compliance demands that are coming to the fore when it comes to AI. Well, the EU AI Act is making that much more critical. And so it's been sort of in the forefronts of security leaders and executive leaders' minds. But there are other global mandates, state mandates, other countries that are sort of introducing these strict compliance and auditing requirements. And that's making it much more critical for organizations to, again, look to vendor neutral and independent frameworks such as CSA's AI controls matrix, which maps to the EU AI Act, NIST, ISO 42101. And then other frameworks out there. We're not here to reinvent the wheel, but to help organizations meet some of these demands as they continue to use AI solutions. It's also going to be critically important for auditors to be armed with the education and the knowledge they need to assess these environments and ensure that obligations are being met. Now, AI as a defensive capability is nothing new. We've been talking about it for a couple of years, but the idea is you have to be extremely thoughtful and methodical when you're leveraging AI to power your cybersecurity programs, so that you're not introducing still more vulnerabilities or other blind spots. And that's where human expertise will be and is needed. And that is why we have partnered with Northeastern University to develop our first AI educational program and certification program, which I'll talk a little bit more about. And I have in other presentations because we're super excited about it. So Jim, obviously in his keynote, will provide you much more detail, but I encourage you to go to our website, check out our AI safety initiative, see all the guidance we've released, look through the controls and check out another solution, our risk rubric that we launched at Black Hat just a couple of months ago. STAR for AI is part of the STAR, our Security Trust Assurance and Risk Program that has been implemented by thousands of organizations across the globe already. But it will fall into to this program, and it will help organizations really showcase their adherence to AI safety and security best practices. It's designed for not only the service providers, cloud providers, but also the enterprise users of AI. And the initial certification is focused on generative AI delivered through the cloud, but obviously we'll be looking at other types of AI as we evolve the program. So the AICM is all about those foundational controls, the mappings. We also showcase a shared responsibility model, just as we have in our cloud controls matrix, and more. It's composed of 18 domains, 243 controls, and it's closely connected, tied to, mapped to our CCM. And with it, we have released our consensus assessment initiative questionnaire that enables organizations to answer all of the required questions associated with those controls that really certify that they are meeting all of the requirements to be listed in our STAR registry, either as STAR level 1 or STAR level 2. We have mappings to BSI, NIST, ISO, just as we have with our CCM. We have released our AICM implementation guidance to help organizations adhere to the AICM and to guide them on the questionnaire. But it also will be releasing auditing guidelines as well to help with that level 2 certification, I should say. In addition to all of these sorts of this kind of roadmap that we have in mind, the one thing I wanted to call out is STAR validated, where we're basically leveraging AI to drive that the conformity of these assessments. And already we have organizations whose solutions have been STAR validated. They've leveraged this AI solution to review the answers to each of those questions to either get further advice on how to improve their cakes, or they have passed with flying colors and they are now STAR validated and it's noted in their listing online. We definitely have had some great positive feedback on the STAR validated program, and just how strong the feedback and responses have been in giving this sort of validation of the self-assessment through the cake. We will, of course, have a pilot of this STAR for AI level 2 shortly, and will continue to leverage STAR validated as well. We announced the launch of our risk rubric AI, which we think is going to be a pretty critical tool for executive leaders and security leaders to validate the service providers they wish to work with. Those AI solutions, those large language model solutions they want to adopt. They'll be able to go to this site and see the solution's trust scores are and how they rank based on a very defined set of risk criteria, which I detailed a little bit of in a recent LinkedIn post. We're still developing some second tier and third tier offerings as part of a risk rubric, which would provide even more detailed reports about the ratings and how they work, and would showcase, just give more information to those individuals wanting it about the risk criteria, how these solutions ranked, and why they received the trust scores they received. And then finally, our partnership with Northeastern is going gangbusters. So our Trusted AI Safety Expert program is well ahead. We launched the fundraising effort that has seen close to $200,000 of support from companies and individuals, and we want to thank you for that. We're keeping this open, and we encourage you to continue doing this. It's going to be a program that we'll have to fund for many years to come. So with the initial expenditure, every cent helps. So we definitely want you to check this out. We have one module available for you to check out, and we should be able to make this particular offering available around October, in the fall sometime. As part of this effort, we will be having in-person events for CXOs and other executive leaders to talk about their additional needs, and to tell us what other educational offerings they may wish to see going forward from us and Northeastern in this partnership. So definitely check out our website to learn more about TASE. And stay tuned for the release of the entire program and the exam, and your ability to get this Trusted AI Safety Expert certification come this fall. So I want to thank you for your time. I thank you for joining us yesterday and today. We're all about providing the most cutting edge insight, guidance, information, frameworks that we can to address your needs. And we're always looking to ensure that we're just staying on that cutting edge sort of view to support our industry. We love what we do, and we are happy to talk to you about all of these different programs, our research, and to get you involved. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you for clicking in, everyone.